Now, how does he rip those out? Sometimes it's by force. Sometimes it's by this thing called manure, fertilizer. All of the unsavory things in life that happens that forces you to look at the world in a new way. Often in illnesses, people reassess their life and their maybe work-home balance. Sometimes it takes that. When I was teaching, my dad was ill at the time, and so I would get up in the morning, I would go to the hospital to feed him, I would go to work, I would sneak out on my lunch hour to help him eat lunch, then I would go home in the evening, take care of my family, go to church and do whatever stuff I had to do there, go back in the evening to make sure Daddy ate again, go home and go to bed and get up the next day and do it. Well, after about a month of doing this, one day I picked up my teacher's manual. There were no words on the page. And I'm like, what is the matter with me? And so I went to the office and said, I don't know what's going on. And they called the nurse. Never to call the nurse unless you really want an answer, because she insisted I leave immediately and go to the doctors because my blood pressure was really high. And I said, no. I started giving her excuses. And she said, no, you either go or I take you. Nurses are really pushy. So I went to the doctors, and, she listened to everything and looked at everything, and she said, you're exhausted. Go home and go to bed. And, I started to tell the doctor, well, I can't do that because I got to, I got to do that. And she said, which part of go to bed did I not speak in English? So sometimes God makes us stop and look at our lives and rebalance them. He forces us sometimes to give up our private agendas and our private religion. We are really good in this country because it's a country where it is not a Christian nation. It's a nation where we are permitted to live out our Christian faith. And so sometimes what we take that to mean is, I'm a Christian and I don't have to worry about anybody else. And so it becomes a private matter. Me and God, we're okay. But here's the challenge.